What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Happy Wednesday. Hey, happy Wednesday. Yes. What's going on with y'all tonight? Get comfortable. Go ahead and invite your friends because it's about to go down tonight. Share. Please like. Comment. Leave your feedback because this is what this is all about. Yes. Hey, what's going on? Let me see you in the chat. Y'all know how I do. I like to go ahead and get this thing set up. Make sure I'm good. I hope y'all good out there. Hey. Hey. What's going on tonight? Y'all ready for these topics though? Y'all ready? Y'all ready for these topics? That's what we're talking about tonight. Y'all see the topics? The topics. So we're talking about these two topics today. So go ahead and grab your friends. Share it. Get ready. Get your favorite drink, your favorite sparkling beverage, your favorite water, your favorite juice, so that we can go ahead and get this thing started. So y'all know how I do. Let me go ahead and get this thing situated and set up. Are you ready? Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Are you ready? Let me see if I can get this thing going a little bit faster before we jump into it. I think I'm having a little bit of some internet issues. So hopefully we can get this thing started really soon. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Hey, hey. Okay. Are you ready? Hey. Are you ready? Are y'all ready tonight? How y'all doing? Let me see it in the chat. Let me see it in the chat. Let me see it in the chat. Hey. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Hey, 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 hey. Almost ready, y'all. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for bearing with me. Almost ready to get this thing started. I am so excited about the topics that we are discussing today. I'm super excited. How about y'all? Grab your best friend, grab your cousin, grab your aunt, grab your grandma, your granddaddy. All of those people. Grab all of those people because it's about to go down we're about to discuss things that happen day to day that people normally don't like to talk about in public. So go ahead and grab your auntie, your great auntie, your great grandma. You know what? They know about this stuff. So go ahead, y'all. Get it in, y'all. Hey, go ahead, y'all. Hey, woo. Get it in, y'all. Hey. Hey, Oksana, I see you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Hey. Y'all ready? Hey. Me. Hey. Are you with me? Hey. All right, y'all. I think I'm set up. Well, hold on. Let me check real quick. 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 Hey. We turn up on a Wednesday. Hey, y'all ready? Okay, y'all. All right, so I already have somebody in the building. Hey, what's going on?
What it do?
What does it do? So, those of you that are just tuning in, if you want to hop on live and put your 2 cents in, then all you have to do is click the link in the description, and I'm posting it right now in the chat for those of you. I have 2 juicy topics for you. I have 2 juicy topics. So the topics we're talking about today is one of them is getting pregnant to save your relationship. What does that all mean? And then the other topic is sex addiction. Is it a problem in and out of the relationship? So those are the 2 topics that we will be discussing today. I love both of these topics because we can all chop it down and chop it up. So go ahead and click that link if you want to hop on live and put your 2 cents in at your own risk. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. So I think the topic that we should start off with today, Logan, what do you think? What should we start off with today?
Well, okay, so I don't actually have a whole lot to chime in on the get pregnant to save your relationship or marriage-ish. That's not
But you may have an opinion on it. You may have an opinion.
Well, that's the problem.
So what's the problem?
I'm not sure if I actually want to express. I want to more hear what other people have to say, and then if I want to chime in, then I will. But I'll probably be here just to listen in on that one. If you want to start with the other one.
That's all good. That's what this is about.
Yeah. No, I do like the topic, and I am interested in hearing what people do have to say. That's going to be great. But yeah, if you did want me to really chime in and want to start on the what was it?
Sex addiction.
Porn?
Sex
addiction. And is it watching porn or is it just fucking in general? It's everything.
No, so the sex addiction is, we're talking about sex addiction in relationships and outside of a relationship. How does it affect the relationship? Pretty much. So if you're for it, if you aren't, if you're not, like, what is your opinion? So this is what we're talking about today. So let's go ahead and do the sex addiction piece. So I want to go ahead and share something with you. Just give me a second. Let's go ahead. Let me turn this music down so you guys can hear. So watch this real quick. Watch it
You
real
write
quick.
about how you would be in the school at school and you'd go into the bathroom stalls and have to do it. And we're asking yourself, is this normal? Are other girls doing this? I mean, did you have the light bulb that like it isn't? Probably they aren't.
Pornography, choosing masturbation, choosing sex from random people at rest areas, parks, bathrooms. I was having sex at the age of 13 with men in their 30s and 40s. I kept getting STDs throughout college, the simple ones and some ones that are more complex. Doesn't really matter, all those details. Why I identify as a sex addict and why it's not just a guy having fun is that the unmanageable events started accruing. Getting STD after STD, not losing a lot of friendships, not having many friendships, the desperate loneliness. All these things happen, and a normal person would, take a breather and say, well, okay, something's wrong, I need to ask for help. But if it's an addiction, as I believe it, it's what you use to soothe yourself, and yet it's also the thing that causes you damage. As I was getting...
The addiction got so bad that even if I was having sex 5 times a day, it just wasn't enough for me.
Sex addiction, for me, that came in the form of unprotected sex with people I did not know. I wouldn't be able to pick them out of a lineup now.
All right. So
You write about how you would be in the school at school.
here we go. So we're talking about sex addiction. We're talking about people that talking about sex addiction in the relationship, out of the relationship. If you have a problem with sex, should you be in a relationship? Or how do you feel about sex addiction in general? Is it a positive thing for you, or is it negative? Is it a problem? Is it something that you need to work on? So, Logan, you want to chime in on that?
So I love the video that you had showed. It definitely hits home on a lot of things. Not really the STD part. Fortunately, I have been pretty fucking safe, and I do practice unsafe sex because I don't really use condoms, but I do get tested every 14 days. Okay, so yeah, we can all use sex as a scapegoat, right? Uh,
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
addiction to sex, yeah, if I'm like really down on life that day, I'm like, you're gonna get a different type of sex. But I do like, as a person, I like to fuck like one time a day at least. Um, but yeah, with the addiction part, everyone could always just be in their different mode too. It could be a vice for getting out of a certain situation, taking you away from a situation for, a moment or so, or a few hours. Um, and then, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna say some crazy shit. I've been fired from a job before. Well, not when I was doing my adult film. Um, I was I had such a sex addiction before. Um, I always got caught like texting, and they were like, "Get the fuck off your phone!" I was like, and I yelled back at them, at my boss at the time. I was like, "I'm trying to get a fucking date tonight. Leave me alone." He goes, "You're fucking fired."
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So my sex addiction actually, um, hasn't went overboard because no one has told me like, hey, sit down for a second, do you need to go to Sexaholics Anonymous or anything. um I more so have had it under control, but I mean, hey, look, I have been fired because I was more interested in trying to find tail than doing my job at the time. So yeah, it's definitely important. Also, okay, so for the relationship aspect of it, um, yeah, shit, I want my partner to bang me all the time.
That's different from banging you all the time. It's a difference between being a sex addict and someone banging you all the time. So I have a question, because you were talking about something and you mentioned that you were a sex addict. Was this before you got into the adult industry?
Yes,
Okay, so you already had this addiction for it, and then you ended up, getting into the industry.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I want to go to a comment really quickly. Oksana says, my ex-husband was a sex addict, and it's like any other addiction. I compare it to being addicted to heroin. He couldn't stop, it destroyed our marriage. So that's one of the topics I do want to talk about. So sex addiction, does it affect relationships? Does it destroy relationships? So in your situation, since you're on here live with me, Logan, um, were you in any relationships at that time where it could have affected you? Affected your relationship or affected your partner?
So yes, um, full disclosure, absolutely, I was. You know what? It's so funny because I remember having the greatest podcast with you the first time that I showed up on uh
Okay.
your site or whatever. I always refer back to that, and I know that I had spoken something about it. I used to be a cheater, and now I'm not.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I've
Honesty is a hell of
definitely
a
learned
drug.
over the years. What's that?
And honesty is a hell of a drug.
It really is.
They always make a play
Okay,
on
so
cocaine, so
the realist of the real, if you're a sex addict, admit it and tell the truth to everyone. Do not hide it. Everyone will find out.
Yeah, but
And, and
even
sometimes it won't look pretty. It's gonna
yeah.
look weird as shit. And then you're gonna be in the corner jerking off. Like, I don't know, but yeah, just be honest about it. That's what helped me out a huge amount. Because yeah, I used to have like 3 girlfriends at a time that didn't know about each other. I was a real asshole. Not that I treated them wrong or like physically bad, but emotionally, whenever they found out about one another girl, yeah, it affected me too. It was bad.
Of course
Just be
it did.
honest about what you want. Um, and now I live a great life. You know, it just took me to grow up. So honestly, if you have a sex addiction, I'm just gonna say it out loud. Grow the fuck up and be honest about it. Everyone will be a lot happier.
I agree with that, but be honest about what you have. But a lot of people don't acknowledge it. They're in denial. They're in denial
Hmm.
about it. As a matter of fact, I do want to go to some statistics that I read about. So let me get that up right here. So it says in the U.S., 3 to 6% of Americans, or people in the US, suffer from sex addiction. That means about 12 to 30 million people in the US. We're not even talking about globally. And it says that men with sex addiction have an average of 32 sexual partners, while females have an average of 22 sexual partners. And this is all according to the Recovery Village. So you can look them up on online, and you can read about this. And so I just want to tell you the percentage of how many people are, struggling in America with um, drug addictions. And I also want to talk about how does that look inside of a relationship. So Chris, did you mention that you were in a relationship while being a sex addict? I think you did. And then you mentioned that you were at that time just cheating. You were a cheater. So in that
Mhm.
case,
Yeah.
I think you already mentioned that it affected you. So can you chime in on how that affected you and how that affected your partner?
Yeah. I've always I'm an Aquarius. We had talked about that the last podcast that I was on, which was really great. Um,
What's your zodiac sign?
Aquarius. Um, so I am an aloof, but I am also very emotional, and I take things to heart, even when it's my fault. I can admit it. So yeah, I went into a little bit of a downfall myself because as soon as all three of them had found out, and this happened several times, several times, and I didn't fucking learn my lesson until I just let go, and really just be honest about who I am. Now I'm able to do that, and then for my partner, I'm sure they've all been more careful in who they date and probably ask more questions, or I've probably given them a lot of signs to look for as well. um and that's just truth being said. uh and it's brought me to be the decent individual that I am now, you know.
Okay. Okay. Let me go to a comment really quick, and then Kawana, thank you for joining. You can chime in after this comment. So Oksana says, when we sold our first home, there was so much pornography left behind. It was called the porno house. Oksana, okay, thank you for sharing that. What do you mean it was left behind?
The
Magazine? What?
It's
I was gonna
funny
say
because
the seller just left, and they left their whole collection.
Oh, okay.
that's funny because I read it too, and I was like, what does that mean? uh I don't know if that. Yeah, I'm thinking it's an unhappy thing because there's a sad face on it. Uh, but it does sound funny.
It probably Oksana, it probably made the house sell for like an extra 400 on top with all that extra magazinage and videos laying around.
Hi, Adaronmu. I hope I'm saying that right. Adaronmu, thank you for tuning in. So, Kawana, what do you have to say about sex addiction?
I got a lot to say about it. All right, starting off, I'm a man, so I get it. Uh,
Okay.
secondly, secondly, I'm a boyfriend slash about to be husband if I play my cards right. So I get it. And thirdly, you know, I just can't get over the comment that I made a night or so ago when I said you're always who people judge you to be. So if I pick up this cup and I sip off of it, I'm addicted, potentially in your eyes. If I
Mhm.
sip it and you don't care about what I'm doing, then I'm just having a drink. So I understand when questions or statements that like Oksana makes or Chris makes as being like previously being a cheater. I understand when people say those things because yeah, people always try to bend the rules. They try to not good people, but like shisty people. You can call them narcissists. You can call them you can call them whatever you want. But people will try to take advantage. Now, as far as what I'm looking at as the title of the show, I'm just gonna say, uh, sex addiction is real.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes.
People that like to have fluid sex is real. But does that make sex addiction? Is sex addiction in the eye of the beholder, or is it in the eye holding look at you? I tried. I don't know.
Well, okay, so I understand what you're saying. And first, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're enjoying the program. This is what this is about. So share with your friends and family, get them to tune in. But I get what you're saying, Kawana, when you're saying, is it in the eye of the beholder? I believe an addiction is when, no matter if it's sex, drugs, whatever it is,
Or rock
it's
and
when
roll.
you cannot decipher, or you can and you choose. Okay, if you can decipher between cannot this. Okay, let me take that back. That's when it affects you. You're still doing it, even though it affects you negatively. That's what I'm trying to say. You. It seems that you don't have any control. It doesn't matter what the outcome is going to be. You're going to do it because of you like it so much, or you need it or want it so much that you don't have that control to say no, even though it may affect you negatively. That's what I think an addiction is. So when you're addicted to something, whether it's crack, whatever it is, and like crack is wet, I don't know, I never did it, but when you get to the point when you can't say no and it's messing up your life and it's affecting your family and your friends, that's an addiction. You have a problem. So I think that's what we're talking about. So is it in the eye of the beholder? Like if you think someone that's strung out on crack or whatever and skin and bones, they stealing, breaking in, in your eyes, are they an addict or are they just like it?
Well, honestly, I think there are people that have an addiction to whatever it may be. In this case, it's sexual addiction. But there's the other side of the population that is like into it, and they thrive off of it. I mean, look at Instagram, for instance, and Snapchat. These I see girls and guys out there just shaking it, doing it, popping, locking, dropping, and some of them ain't never did nothing more friskier than turning to HBO after dark. Others have realized, or not realized, but they see that thanks to like Kim Kardashian types, that sex sells, and sex can set you up. Sex can be the demise of you as well. I mean, there's um, there was this what do you call it? Shit. Sorry, I'm and so much. I'm just trying to think. There's a what do they call you? Personality, YouTube personality, a Snapchat or whatever. And the girl was gorgeous. She was already gorgeous, but guess what? She just had to get that butt lifted 3 more inches so that she could keep up with the Joneses, or the Kardashians, if you will. And now she's dead, and she has a 4-year-old daughter. So sex addiction, from the statement I'm making, I don't think it just is. It's such a it's a broad statement. It's no longer just hey, my mate likes to masturbate all the time. It's if you're going to McDonald's to get a burger, and then you find yourself paying a quarter to get into the bathroom because they charge you sometimes, and then you went to pee, but now you're jacking off in the stall. Yeah, maybe you have a problem. Or maybe you're just adding an experience to your overall life clock, and you're like, hey, fuck, I jacked off in a McDonald's. I'm cool now. I can tell that story. Some people will view that as, hey, you're a fucking pervert, at which I agree with, because you got to be careful. Sexuality in America has never been put it on Front Street. It's always been taboo behind the scenes. Look at Pee Wee Herman. I'm aging myself by saying that, but my man went out. He was the greatest performer since Michael Jackson, as far as America's concerned. And then they caught him jacking off at the movie theaters, and then that no more Pee Wee Herman. Why
Mm.
you putting porn in the movie theaters if you can't play with yourself?
Oh, another topic. Another topic. I'm gonna have to have You know what? I like where you were going with that because I'm gonna have to have a topic on that. But I do want to go to the comments really quickly. So
Oksana,
Say
can we
says
read that one? An
replying
addiction.
replying to Oksana, why don't you talk to your husband to take it easy with you? And then he says, "Are you single now?" Okay, we
Oksana better watch out.
Off limits. Find you a match.
Off limits matchmaking. I love it.
Okay, so I do want to go to some more statistics, some more that I found out about sex addiction. So they said of the people, okay, so approximately 55% of convicted sex offenders and 71% of convicted child molesters have a sex addiction. Child victims of sexual trauma often on to become offenders themselves. So approximately 5% of people that are sexually addicted recover from their sex addiction. So I want to talk about that. I just want to pose this question.
Well, I
Do
think
you
I'm
think
perfect
that
example.
people with sex addictions is stemming from somewhere else, maybe childhood traumas, as I just read? So what do you think?
Well, I think I'm prime example of the 5%.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it didn't get that deep with me. I mean, I just wanted to have good consensual sex all the time. The only thing that was bad is that I was a liar, and then I had changed.
Okay. Can I pause
Uh,
right there? I just want to read this really quick. So,
yeah,
according to the Recovery Village, a strong correlation exists between sex addiction and childhood trauma. Surveys of people with sex addiction show that during childhood, 72% were physically abused, 81% were sexually abused, 97% were emotionally abused. So, go ahead and finish your statement, but I just wanted to throw that out there so that people can think about it and then chime in on what they think about that.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it goes back to the video that you first showed in the beginning. The guy was talking about how people use sex as a scapegoat. You know,
Mhm.
yeah, it could be traumatic, and yeah, some girls might have daddy issues or something like that. Some uh, guys or whatever might have mommy issues. I don't know. Whatever, I don't know. Um, I was never that type of person, but it does go on, and yeah. So I would have to say that a good 60%, 70% of the world, and when I say that, I'm legitimately really speaking from the heart. I think 70% of the world really does have a sex addiction, though, whether they bring it out or not. Because, you know what? All too often do I hear that, oh, my girl doesn't want to have sex tonight. What? But then I hear women say, we really do, but you didn't put in enough fucking effort. It's like, that's so true all the
Come on
time.
now.
You know, so it's like, what the fuck? Where is everyone's mind at? Just be honest. If you want to fuck, say it.
Let's go to a comment really quick. Jason Katz, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. When I was about 14 or 15, my mother was cleaning my room and lifted up my mattress to change. She saw a few books and mags under there. Okay.
Ah, that's so funny.
Called me and my dad into the room to have a serious, sorry, I have to go up, a serious discussion about what was there. They were cookbooks at the time. I was interested in possibly becoming a chef someday. I thought it was good place to start them to keep them out of the way. Oh my gosh.
Come
You know
on,
what?
Jay. Come
Jason,
on,
you got
Jay.
all of us on that. You got all of them. You like
Wow,
magazines and stuff.
that's too
So you're
good.
hiding cookbooks. Why in the world are you hiding cookbooks?
Oh, I
He just
love
thought
it.
it was a good place to keep him out of the way. That's all.
Ah,
You
no.
know, I can't disagree with that. Every under your pillow, right on your side is just reach convenient. You know,
So
let's
hold
go.
up, Jason. If you're still watching, the serious discussion that you had to have with your mom and dad about some cookbooks, I want to know about that. What did they say? What was the conversation? So, anyway, until you chime in, and those of you that are in right now, if you want to hop on live and put your 2 cents in at your own risk, go
Come
ahead and
on.
do so. I welcome you. Click the restream link. So, Kawana, did you have
Mm.
anything that you want to chime in on in regards to what Chris said, or even what I mentioned about what I researched?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I do. About the research, and I want to say, like, you know, I grew up in the era of R. Kelly. Okay, if you say R. Kelly and some music's on, you're talking about the GOAT. If you say R. Kelly and there's no music playing, I got to look at you different. And 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 I have my own self guilt about it because I love the man as a talent, but his personal sex life can't get down with that. So when I hear statistics like that, it makes me think that yes, there are people that have sex addictions that are well outside of the normal boundaries of what is accepted between everyday society. And you hear about people going overseas and experiencing Thai girls and guys and girl guys and all this stuff, and I never fault anybody for what they're doing as long as it's like what Chris mentioned earlier. It's all consensual, it's all you know uh adult, nothing like what we hear about when sex gets strange. Okay, that's where morally I have my own line draw. Now I'll go outside right now and run butt ass naked, but if the neighbor knocks on the door and says, well, my kid saw you, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, first and foremost. But secondly, I'm gonna be like, why was your kid up at 11:30 at night? So where's the real problem? No, I'm just
You know
joking.
what?
I'm just joking.
Because I sure did have something to say. I wanted to put my 2 cents in on that one. But you
Oh
know
man,
what?
just,
I'll save
I was
that
just
for
playing.
another topic. I'll save it
Well,
another. Uh,
Streaking while grown. Oh man, I can't do no shots, man. This is
oh,
this
okay.
is
I love
Gatorade.
it.
I'm sipping Gatorade
So
with class tonight.
Sophia, you did
Nigeria
say.
in the house. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, you know what? Thank you
Okay.
for tuning in because I know a lot of Nigerian music artists. This is the thing that I listen to. So I'm going to shout it out since you tuning in. We got Davido. Everybody knows Davido. We got Techno. We got I don't know, but Olamide, I don't know if he's from Nigeria, but you can tell me if he's from Nigeria. We have Runtown, we have Wizkid, Starboy, so many people. We have Yemi Alade. So I love Nigerian music. So thank you for tuning in. I love it. Yes. So anyway, please put your comments in. We're talking about right now sex addiction inside of the relationship and outside of the relationship. So I want to transition just a little bit. So we talked about it being inside of the relationship. What about if you're single? You're not
Whew.
with nobody. Is it okay to be a sex addict? Now we watched a little clip, the little video clip where people, even though they were not, I don't know, but I think some of them probably weren't in relationships. And we heard about the things that happened to them while they were, doing their addiction. So, is it okay? Oh, you trying to join? Let me send you the link. Here we go.
So
I,
can I
I
go
think
first on that one?
go
Yes,
ahead.
you
Go.
can.
So again, there has, in my mind, there is a lot of constraints no matter what you do, whether you're in a relationship. Is it a problem to your partner? If you're out of a relationship, are you a sex addict? If you're in a relationship, are you a sex addict because you just can't be with your partner? If you're out of a relationship, are you a sex addict? And it really just comes down to, without excluding the people like that have, perv minds. Let's just exclude these folks for this conversation, or at least for my piece. I believe that desire is underrated, underestimated, overrated, all the above, and some below word. Um, Desire shows up in many forms. Okay, I happen to know that I ain't about to pick my girl up and throw her on the wall because I ain't did too many push-ups in my day. Okay. Uh, Now if my girl tell me I want to get picked up and put up against the wall, I'm gonna figure out a way to make it happen. I'm not gonna sit there and solely put that pressure on me. Maybe I make a contraption, or maybe I call Roto Rooter. Maybe I
Who
call
in the
Tyrone.
world is Rotor? What is that?
That's, you
It's
got
a
some
plumbing company.
plunging Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh
The
Lord.
point is I'm not gonna stop my thought process on how do I get
You
my
fucking
partner the
idiot. I
experience she
love you.
wants if I'm unable to do it or unwilling, whatever it may be. And I think that, and look, I know I'm gonna get crucified for this later in the chats, but I really do think that there's a stronghold on the way that relationships happen nowadays. Some people will say, well, if you can't stay loyal, then stay single. And then in the next hand, they're like, well, if you're loyal and you have a desire, you should consult with your partner. And then sometimes doing that leads you down the same dark road. I don't think anybody should be held um, you know, up for the shooting line to when they have like, hey, babe, I want to do this. Do you support me or do you not? And then depending on those answers, then you got to work something else out in an adult relationship, not in a narcissistic relationship, not in a cheating relationship, not in a in a place where people try to just satisfy only them. I'm talking about, it's great. It like, it's great. And you guys can fart in bed and laugh, or you can run outside naked to get the mail just for a chuckle. It's the open-mindedness about some relationships that I believe come into question when you're asking these type of questions.
So, actually,
Really
thank you
quick,
for
before you
for
say
oh,
something, Logan,
got it.
Jason was trying to get on. So, Jason, if you're clicking on the link directly from the Facebook page, what you need to do is copy the link, then paste it into a browser. Because I've been told that clicking the link directly from Facebook to hop on live with me,
Oh, God.
some type of glitch. So, copy the link, then paste it, open a new browser, and then paste it, and you should be able to get in here. So go ahead.
J- Jason actually went to go look at porn. So I'm just kidding,
Oh,
Jason. I love you, man. Um, okay, so it brings me to still same topic. Uh, if you're uncomfortable with your partner having a sexual addiction, um, of course, have a nice, comfortable conversation about it. Is there any other hobbies that you would like to do? Like, are you not? What's the word for it? Are you not really enthusing yourself with other things that entice you? Or your partner might have to look at, am I not doing enough?
So
very great
I didn't,
points.
I didn't quite hear the very first part of that. I heard the rest of it. So what was the very first part before you start asking the questions?
Um, okay, yeah. If someone isn't like really pushing themselves to learn something different, like as a hobby, um, or yeah, just to get yourself like kind of out of the funk. Oh, are you talking about like if a partner is too much of a sex addict, you need to talk about it? Is that the part that you didn't hear?
Probably, because I wanted
Oh,
to,
okay.
I quite connect how you got to the questions that you were asking.
Got it. Yeah. If your partner is too much of a sex addict, um, you definitely need to sit down and ask, am I not doing enough? Or um, do you want to like pick up a different type of hobby or something? You can't just jerk around all day, right? Do something a little bit more productive. Um, but yeah, it could be either one person needs more of a hobby, or the your significant other, I guess, needs to ask, am I not doing enough for you?
Well, you know what? I think with a sex addiction, that may not be the right question to ask.
Yeah,
Because
I
regardless,
agree.
with sex addicts, it's an addiction. So regardless, you can be fucking them 20 times a day and woe out, pussy dry, hard, hurting, sore, penis broken.
No, take
They
it
like,
from
I
someone
can't
who
get
has had sex like 12,
I mean,
14 times in a day. No, our penis gets tired. Your vagina, I'm
so
sure, gets
exactly.
tired.
The
So
vagina can take a lot
so
more
that's
than
what
a
I'm saying.
penis.
But
We
still,
just
as for
know
a
Well,
it.
sex addict,
maybe not.
for a sex addict, you know, all of that can happen, but still need to get it. They still have that desire. And so from what I researched, it is psychological. It's something here. So that's why I read about the traumas from childhood, emotionally abused, sexual abuse. What is it? Because a lot of what the doctors are saying, that this is not something that's just going to that's high. People with this addictions, particularly sex addiction, they're not recovering at high percentages, because it's a mind shift that has to take place or something like that. So I don't think that the question about if if am I doing it as much as you want? No, you're definitely not going to meet that number, because it's an addiction. Just like person on heroin, they're going to always want it no matter how much. They're not going to ever get to that point and say, hey, not right now. I'm good for now. I'm straight. Come back tomorrow. No, what they're going to do exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So, Kawana, I think you had something to say. What do you got to say?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that what and correct me if I'm wrong, Logan. What I heard you say was more so geared towards a person within a relationship. As far as, are they not pleasing you the way that you would desire? And I'm pretty sure that all of us, men and women, feel that way. Um, I know there was a time I used to go in my ex-wife neck all the time, every time, all the time. And then I find myself in later situations where I'm the one in the rocking chair, just trying to look at the birds and got a headache, and all the stories that you hear growing up through the experiences of people when they don't want to have sex. And you just have to understand that sometimes everyone is not in a sexual mood. However, talking about the sex addict, and look, I want to call myself a sex addict, but I know I'm not. I think as a man, our testosterone, our machismo makes us want to I'll hit everything in the world, you know,
Like
and
Lil Wayne.
honestly, we just can't even make it past. You can't even make it past the first one sometimes, you know, let alone the whole world. And so, you know, I always made this comment as a younger adult. Uh, there's stuff on the other side of the world I'll never see unless I
Yes.
go over there. And when I
Yeah.
go over there, then I need to figure out what's for me. Do I need to take a picture of the Eiffel Tower, or do I need to take a picture at a coffee shop in the bathroom with some French lady trying to be all, you know, and what does it mean to you? I think that's what I think individually we have to ask each other. What does, when someone says you're a sex addict versus you being sexually inclined to be promiscuous or be open, there's a line there somewhere. Now, like I said, if you're R. Kelly or you're a perv, you got a problem. You need to go see somebody. Within a relationship, there are parameters such as jealousy, such as there's another good one on top of jealousy, and I might not be able to think of it right now, but you know, what is it? You know, can as a man, can you stand there while your woman goes, God damn, look at that man's arms, and then stand there confidently and let her enjoy that? And as a woman, can you stand there and watch your man say, God damn, look at that asparagus? And I'm talking about vegetables. And then you take that and you trickle it on down to the experiences, you know, and what each person wants to do, like the word cheating and lying. Like I heard you mention that, Logan. You said, I'm a cheater. I had 3 girlfriends at once, you know, and some guys be like, oh, that's awesome. And some guys be like, oh, that's not right. And some girls the same thing,
Right.
right? But my question, and I didn't have a question until I said that out loud, but what I really want to ask you is, were you doing what you were doing because the norm, which would have been you, would
Mhm.
not have been accepted by the masses? Does that make
So
sense?
yeah, actually it does. Just to clarify though, because I don't really feel like I'm an addict anymore. Because I'm very truthful about it. I think an addict is someone who's disrespectful in a certain way, in their own way, um, because they'll just take it anywhere, anyway, even if it hurts someone's feelings. I just wanted to clarify now. I'm like super, super honest with everything. And I still do have 3 girlfriends, but I'm super honest with it and they all know about each other, which makes it okay. But okay, going back to your question, um, yeah, kind of a reason why I did it is whenever I was, uh, in those old past 3 relationships, and I kind of got a reputation for just always having girls around. So yeah, to the masses, like you're saying, like my friends
You're a
that I had around
womanizer
me,
to the
right?
masses.
Sure. So like my friends always had praised me. They're like, "How do you do it?" And this is well, I do it, and but they would always be like, "High five this, high five that," and it was fun. So then I kept going, whether I hurt people emotionally or not. And then yeah, it finally just hit me, and I said, "Fuck the masses. I'm gonna be a respectful human being." And like I said, for like now the 3rd or 4th time, be honest, be a respectful person, do what you want, but be honest, be respectful about what you do. Did I answer your
Okay.
question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go to a comment really quickly from Adam Room. I'm sorry, I'm messing up the name. So I must tell you my experience
Okay.
when I got married with back. Let me actually try to say that Adaromu, Adaromu. I must tell you my experience when I got married with Black American woman. So I think it's probably saying Black American woman, and I bring her down to Nigeria, and she give me a baby boy while I am in Nigeria. It was later when she go back to the state. You can't believe that she later got another pregnant to another man. Again, why am I in my country? So that means she likes sex too. Okay, that's a good one. So basically, you married your wife, took her back to Nigeria, and then she got pregnant by another man. So you're questioning if your wife is a sex addict. Well, we don't know. So we are. I've defined a,
That just
a
sounds like good old cheating.
yeah. That's what I was
I,
saying. It could be. It could be good old cheating, like Kawana just mentioned. So I want to ask you, is your wife continuously having sex all the time? Like you found her with numerous partners outside of your relationship, then it might be an addiction. And let's
I
go to
want to
another.
say, oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. A hobby will not replace the sex addiction. You're absolutely right. I agree. You can go color, get a coloring book. You can go paint. And what we've heard is that people with addictions, they can paint and they can't focus on the activity because they're constantly thinking about the addiction. They're thinking about, oh, I need something inside of me, or I need to put something inside of somebody, or I need to feel this regardless, so a hobby will not replace that. So go ahead and chime in, Kawana.
You know what? I did forget what I was gonna say, but just speaking off of what you were kind of just saying as far as her comment and all that, like a sex addict will, you could say hi to a sex addict, right? And to you, you're saying hello. To a sex addict, when you say as a now, I'm gonna speak woman to man, man to woman, everything in between, right? Some people, when you say hi to them, you might be saying hello, but in their mind, they're thinking, yeah, you're gonna be high up on this dick tonight, or you're gonna, like, they just take it there right off the bat, like the clip you played earlier. The person, no matter what, it's just always happening in their mind. They can't hold a normal conversation without trying to get explicit somewhat to the topic. And I do feel that there are people that are sex addicts. Okay, one of the most known R&B male singers is Eric Benet. He was married to Holly Berry back in the golden era, and this guy, he had Holly Berry, and his music was all about wrapping them chocolate legs around me. And that's the name of one of his songs, by the way. But if you listen to his music, you could tell the dude was a freak. You listen to Genuine, you listen to R. Kelly, hell, Michael Jackson, he got some freaky damn songs. Everybody, they're a true artist, and outside of being an entertainer artist, I'm saying a person. Everybody is an artist. Look at Logan, man. He's got on glasses and a shirt. Jason's wearing a pimp hat. I don't know what this is, but this is part of my art. You got the pretty hair. Everybody's an artist, and as you go through life, some people are just not gonna dig your shit, and other people are gonna be like, yo, pour some more in the cup, I want some. And I I just want to be clear again. My perspective literally does not consider anything or anyone that is operating outside of what is socially accepted of an adult. Now, when I look at you, three fine individuals, if you tell me you got to have it breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm gonna just say, hey, you got a high sex rate. Maybe I said that wrong, but you're ready. Now, it doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If your mate wants to get it in, or if you're single and you want to get it in, go get it. That's what we're here for. I don't think we're
Jace,
here to work and worry about the stock market and all the shit that we worry about. Like, sex is one of those things. If you look at Greek mythology, man, they're very, 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 very hardcore when it comes to, I'm gonna take a pose with my titties out. If you see somebody outside posing with their titties nowadays, you're gonna lose your fucking shit and be like, call the cops, indecent exposure. Oh my god, they're being satanic. People are so fucking like, even overseas, they look at sex different.
You know what? Yeah, overseas, I do agree about that, but let me stop you with all the other stuff because olden days, I'm gonna say my industry was super frowned upon, but
Oh.
now in the newer days, it's actually being more accepted. But yeah, it's who you come across, it's who you're around that can definitely be like, wow, what did I just see right now? And some people can be very disgusted about it, but I think, just sexual beings, what is it called? PDA, public display of affection, right? I think it's a little bit more accepted these days, right? Jason or Sophia, do
Yeah.
you also feel that PDA or just sexual explicit things are more acceptable these days than from back in the day?
Well, I don't know. When's
Like
back
from
in the
10
day?
years ago?
10 years ago? No. I think it goes in waves. I think it goes up and down. I think that, like, yeah, maybe 10 years ago people were a little bit more, I don't know, prudish in a sense, but 20, 30 years ago, I think it went the other way. I think people were very sexually expressive. And then there was and then through the 70s and stuff, it was sort of not really acceptable, but it was in the underground, it was very much still happening. And in the 60s, that was the whole free love era. So that was
Right.
it's pretty acceptable then. So I think it kind of goes up and down in waves. It's like people who can't handle it react to it, and then there's like a backlash, and then like things get a little more puritanical, and then things develop back to slowly work their way back because people are into it. It's just people have always been into it, but there's just certain people don't like it or are afraid of it or feel it in themselves, and they're trying to like stop those feelings so they don't want anyone else to express themselves that way, and then they act out and try to make it unacceptable on a societal level, and then but eventually it works its way back in.
I agree
Okay.
with that.
Okay. Okay.
Very well said, Jason. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that made sense. I was trying to listen to myself.
It did.
I don't know if I was saying anything.
Yeah, just like apparel, clothes, they go in and out of style. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, the 20s, there was a very permissive period on a social level, but like the society wanted to present this attitude of not permitting that, so it was kind of underground. And then same thing through like in the 50s. The 50s, it was like, you look at the Leave It to Beaver era, the representations of society were very straight laced, but underneath that you had like jazz, R&B, rock and roll, all making moves to make uh, free expression more available. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can
So,
I say one thing to the tail end of that?
mhm.
Like I said, Jason, like we don't know. Well, no, I didn't say that. So on the other side of the world, I'm gonna just say that to be very broad.
All right.
They view sex differently than us. So in that time where you were hearing music and risque commercials and a pack of cigarettes on a hunk of a guy with muscles and a girl in a scantily clad skirt and a hot ride, and like they sex has always been taboo here in America, whereas as soon as you leave here, you see don't nobody care about no nipples, but a nipple here, well, by golly, that's the things that dreams are made of. And I me
Well, babies
hey,
like them. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah. It's like, for me, I used to have Superman X-ray vision, okay? As I've
Mhm.
gotten older, I'm no longer in possession of those powers. I used to be able to see right through everything, be like, "Oh yeah, girl." Sometimes I had that, that creepy laugh to go with it, but
Mhm.
now there's some things as an adult you learn you don't want to see through the clothes to see. Now I understand people wanting to be, uh, that wasn't a praying gesture. That was like more of a politically correct sign.
Um, anyway.
But still, it's not like you can just, you go to the beach and there's six girls wearing absolutely nothing, and then you say, "Wow, your nothing looks good," and then they go, "Oh, you're a creep," and you're like, "Wait a minute, no, I'm not. I'm just complimenting you." Or same thing for women. You guys see men like I know my mom loved football, and I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. In my opinion, my mom started loving football once she started focusing in on the dudes' tights and their pads and the muscles and stuff, because you can't see the person. That's the best part about football. I love when I meet a woman that loves football. I just ask them, well, why? And they're like, ooh, they start acting like you asked them about a steak. They start salivating and stuff, and they're like, look at them striations and their muscles and the way that the butt look in the pads. And I'm like, oh, you don't say. Are you now chauvinist? And see that word, I don't even know if it goes both ways. As far as I know, it's only
Hey,
for men.
I actually have a very funny story. I'll try and make it quick. So, one of the makeup artists on set, he's always like doing the girls' makeup, really awesome gay guy. And he always tells me the funniest stories too. Uh, and it goes along with football, but soccer as football. How they wear the baggy shorts instead of like the tight pants. And he goes, man, I don't really like soccer, but the dudes are hot. And he sees their dick fucking flopping in the shorts. But he watches soccer just because of that. That's funny as shit.
Yeah, yeah. People are
And
just
yeah,
attracted.
that's also the sexual addiction too. So, eh, super
I,
funny.
I'm at the other side, man. I can't say just because you find, and for male or female, you find something that looks great. You're like, oh, ooh, you turn into a caveman. Then you have a sexual
Mm,
addiction. There's people
mm.
that look outside their window. Let me tell you something. I take my dog out for a walk, sometime a little circle stroll, and I see these beautiful fucking birds. And I'm like, oh, look at that bird. The excitement that I get when I see this. I don't, it's not St. Louis, so I don't know if I can call it a cardinal or a red jay or the hawk I saw. Oh man, I saw a
Uh,
red tailed hawk today that would change people's lives. But Do
All
I
right.
now have a bird sex addiction because I can't control myself and my expressions through my emotions through my expressions by saying, ooh, you know? So I'm trying to err on the side of generalization. I don't like generalization when it comes to certain, let's just call them topics for what we're doing now.
Yeah. Sophia, I can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So anybody
Got it.
has some last minute feedback because I'm going to wrap this up before we switch it to the next topic. So while we go ahead and transition into topic 2, it is time for well, first before you do that, did anybody have any last minute comments that you want to add to sex addiction inside outside of the relationship or anything, any last minute thoughts before I go ahead and transition?
Nah, switch it.
Switch it. Shut up.
I have to talk like this because I have my phone on the charger and I can't pick it up because it's a wireless charger, so I have to kind of lean in like this.
Okay. Oh, you're so sweet.
Hey, we love you like that, Jay.
We love you. Thank you.
So here I am right here, like woo.
So
My
let's go
cat
ahead.
might wander in and sniff the phone in a minute.
Let's go ahead and transition into off limits on blast. While we go ahead and do that, we know that we now have off limits toast. That's where we toast during the show. So go ahead and get your beverages, your sparkling water, your Jameson, your whatever you got, your vodka. Go ahead and get that ready because we will do a toast. But right now, we're going to do off limits on blast, and off limits on blast is where we shout out a person, product, company, service, whatever it is, we play a track because we love helping and supporting and building the community. So the shout out for today is Lux Complex, which is a company that sells cosmetics and clothing. And you can check it out. And what she is suggesting today is the makeup brush cleaner. So she's suggesting the makeup brush cleaner, and if you go to her website, you will get a discount. So there's a discount that you can check out. Let me see if I can get the picture up really quick. And also, if you have a company that you put on blast, hit me up and I'll tell you how you can do that. So let me see if I can get the picture up here for you. All right. So let me show this picture and you check her website and the phone number is there if you need to contact her. The company is called Lux Complex. And this is the product. Actually, let me take this chat off. So that is the set you will get. She says that it is amazing. You're not going to want to miss that. So we have also, Off Limits have also introduced something new and different. Off Limits got something to say. So I want to talk about Britney Spears and the framing Britney Spears. So that's in the news in the media right now where everybody's talking about free Britney and the conservatorship that her father has over her finances and her life. So I did watch the documentary and it was very interesting. And I feel sad for Britney. I really do. And the reason why I do is because it all started years ago when she shaved her head off, right? and people was like, "Oh, she's crazy. Something's going on." But how many times have someone shaved their heads off and nothing was wrong with them? They just wanted to do something different, new, and bold. But what got me was that in the documentary, her father said, "Oh, well, what do you?" It was a question asked to him about her fate, and he said something like, "Well, let's let the court decide." I just believe that as a parent, that's something that you really don't say. You don't say, you don't put your child's fate in the court's
fuck
hand.
no.
Exactly. And so before, I'm gonna let you chime in on that briefly, but before she actually, before it all happened, when it was in process, she said she did not want her father to have that authority. She would rather it go to someone that she didn't know. And then if you watch the documentary, they said that he wasn't really in life. He was there, but he wasn't there in her life. He was away doing all of the important things, and even the things that weren't so important wasn't there. But all of a sudden now he's there. And then she specifically said, "I would rather have somebody else. Okay, I know this is going to happen, but please don't give it to him." And now her father says, "Let the court decide." Hell no. As a parent, you don't put your child's fate in the court system, in the hand. So that's my 2 cents on it. And Chris Logan, I think you wanted to say something.
Yeah, it kind of also reminds me of, Brittany did her rebellious thing, shaving her hair off, going bald. It reminds me about Macaulay Culkin. His parents had control of his stuff too, and it really threw him into depression, which made him get into drugs and stuff. So yeah, they went through a whole court thing too, and he still lost.
And when I think about Brittany, I just my
the court.
yes, exactly. So I feel like Brittany has done a lot, and she's been through a lot, and I just think she's in a tough place. Like, I just see her life as being miserable regardless of what she's gone through. But I don't know. That's just my opinion from what I've seen. And because who wants all of that? Who wants someone to control their life to almost every point in their life?
Look,
but I don't want to have a whole discussion on it because we do have to go to the next topic. But go ahead and put your 2 cents in briefly.
Yeah, this is gonna be really quick. Don't fucking work with family.
I've heard that. And you know what? I'm glad that you put that in because that's the thing. I mean,
I got something.
What you want to say, Jason?
I mean, I don't know what Brittany's mental state is. I'm not sure where she's coming from as far as from a mental place. If she's healthy or crazy or what. But I mean, there's plenty of people out there who got a lot of money that are crazy that we don't ever think about taking them. Elon Musk is a nutcase.
Exactly.
No one talks about taking his money away and putting it in conservatorship. Charlie Sheen was a nutcase. No one talks about taking his money out and putting it somewhere. It's like, I think, and it seems like women and children are kind of like focused on in this. Like somehow the paternalistic society has to jump in and decide stuff because women and children don't have the capacity to figure out their own shit. That's where I'm at.
I love that, Jason. I'm so glad that you brought that out because as I watched that, I was like, you know what? If she had $5 in her bank account, there's no way her father would be talking about, "Oh, let me have conservatorship over you." He'll be like, "Do what you're gonna do," even if she had 100 or 500. But because I believe because there is money there, now you want to control her estate. Because the things to me of what I've seen that Brittany's done in the public,
well,
wasn't all out crazy. It was just like, okay, yes, I'm sick of y'all snapping pictures at me. I'm tired of it. I can't even go outside. that'll make anybody want to say something. And then to shave your hair off is her prerogative. What does she want to do with her hair? I mean, I don't think those are crazy.
Oh shit.
Well, I think she did it. I think she shaved her hair off because she was tired of people like taking pictures of her, and she thought maybe if I don't fit the mold of the beautiful pop star, people will leave me alone. I think that's what she was thinking.
So I'm like, free Britney. For me, I'm free Britney because I feel like she's
Oh,
gone
absolutely.
free
Yeah,
Britney.
and you know what?
I agree with Jason said. He brought up a very valid point. All of these people, they don't have all this stuff going on. And I don't even hear of Britney doing things, as worse as they're doing. So I just believe it's something else going on. And even if you watch the interview with her brother, he was like, the question was like, oh, is she being controlled every move? And he was like, well, yeah. And then he gonna turn it around to a joke. Now, you telling the truth.
Yeah.
So
I saw that.
Real.
And I always want to think about like somebody like a Michael Jackson. Okay, Britney Spears. From what they depicted in that documentary, yeah, her life was hell. Okay, and you see somebody like a Michael Jackson, their life was hell. There's this level of superstardom that comes with that territory.
Yeah, but no one tried to stop Michael Jackson from buying the Elephant Man's bones or anything like that. They let him do his crazy shit.
Exactly. I just think that it's a deeper issue going on. And I'm just surprised that the mother hasn't spoken up as much. And I'm like, what's up with that? Why is the mother not, speaking up or saying anything? Because the way that she was and the things that she did as a teenager, handing out money generously, always nice to her fans.
Sounds like Michael Jackson.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up for me.
Like Chris said, don't do when business gets. Look, it's always good to bring your family and your friends along for the ride, and hopefully that they have the best intentions when they're riding alongside of you. But when you get to the status of megastar and these names that they give these celebrities like Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, I'm gonna just throw Prince in there. Whereas he was an artist that had a very private life, but he let us see so much that we didn't think it was private. But somebody like Britney Spears, I think I was in like the 7th or 8th grade when Britney Spears came out. I was like, oh my gosh. And somewhere deep down inside, I've always had love for Britney Spears. Never hated her, never looked at her funny. You hear, I like how Logan brought up Macaulay Culkin, and let's not forget, oh shit. Let's not forget him as I forget him. Gary
Coleman.
Gary Coleman, thank you, brother. Let's not forget Gary Coleman, where when the parents are trusted to make the best decisions, sometimes that's literally not the case. And I think whatever the narrative is what you have to pay attention to. So I'm not going to sit here and say after watching the Britney Spears documentary that I feel she was crazy or her parents were trying to suck her money up. I think it was a little bit of everything, like not that she was crazy, but she got tired of that shit. And her parents saw a golden opportunity. And there was one thing that I paid attention to when I seen that documentary is at the end of it. It said, whoever the voice said, he said, we asked these people to be a part of this documentary, and they said no. And every single Spears said no. And that leads me to agree with what you're saying about $5 in the account with the family care. No, they wouldn't care. There's money is the root of all evil. Okay, and don't let
the love of money. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money, like if you love it too much. So I think that's it because money is the best. But anyway,
oh shit, Jay, is that a microphone?
I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on the Britney Spears documentary. So I want to also go ahead and move on to Off Limits, Not Them Jokes. This is a new feature that we added to the show. And so what we have is jokes, knock jokes, mix them up, jokes. And you can submit your jokes if you want to. You know how to find me. Send me the message, and I'll get your jokes. So we did have some submissions, and so now we're gonna start with the jokes. Are y'all ready?
Was that
Yay!
me in the top right?
I'm ready for some
If you
jokes. I'm ready for some jokes.
wanted to give you,
I love it. That
if,
is you,
if you
man.
want to, okay. So let's go to the. So we have jokes from Andre. So okay,
All
let me
right.
read it for you. Knock knock.
Who's
Who's
there?
there?
Okay, asshole.
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 I said asshole.
That's all who's
Oh, I'm
there.
sorry, I didn't hear that. I was laughing too loud.
Hey,
Asshole,
she
open
was
the door.
laughing though. Did y'all see that?
Lonnie, you just talked over the punchline. Come on, man.
Hold up.
What?
I said it wrong. Open the door and find out, asshole. My bad.
Oh, there you go. That's good. All right.
Oh damn.
Oh,
Okay, so
hey.
let's go
So
to another
complaining about
one.
a joke. Let's do a
Okay,
shot.
yes. What did you say? Oh, that's next. Just hold your horses. Hold your horses. That's next.
Well, I figured if we were doing a joke, we got to take a shot to a joke.
Joke.
Oh, we're gonna take a shot. We're gonna take a shot. Trust
Jokes
me.
up in here.
Um, let's go to the next one.
Next one.
Andre, knock knock.
Who's
Andre,
there?
who's there? Who's
Uh,
there? Come
Tom.
on. You got to have it ready.
I'm reading. I'm trying to read. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's start over. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Some
Who?
asshole talking to a knock knock joke.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, shit.
Okay, let's do one
Yeah.
more. Let's do one more. I think he has one more. So Andre has another one. What do you get when you mix a snowman and a vampire?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. What do we
A
get?
frosty tooth.
Oh, you're close. A frostbite.
Okay. Yep.
Frostbite. All
You're
right.
Okay, so now I'm gonna do one that I created, y'all. So y'all laugh even if it's not funny. So what did the screw say to the screwdriver?
Screw me.
I can't imagine. What do you say?
Yay! Baby!
Screw me. Oh,
Okay.
shit.
All right.
That's
Okay.
funny.
Hold up. Did Jason say good night?
No, I'm still here. I'm peeking in. I just got a thing on the charger. I can't keep. I can't.
Oh, okay. I thought you said good night after that joke. Like, good night, I'm out of here.
No, I said,
Okay,
all
so
right. All right.
let's go ahead and move to off limits toast.
Wait, I got a joke.
Oh, go ahead. You want to say a
Well,
joke?
uh-oh. Now we're waiting.
I'm sorry, I had to go prepare my shot, so I just had to get that ready too. I got my earpiece in. Okay. So my joke is gonna be, your mama's so fat that when she fell, I didn't laugh, but the pavement cracked up.
Oh,
That's
man.
Ouch. Ouch.
Okay, all
all
right.
I got.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
hey,
good.
what's up, kitty?
So let's go ahead and move on to off limits toast. So get
Oh,
your
shit.
shot glasses ready, your wine glasses
I
ready, your
got
champagne
something.
glasses, your sparkling water, your plain water, your soda, your juice, whatever you got, go ahead and get that ready. We're about to do this off limits toast. Some people was trying not to hold their horses, but we here and we ready now. So are you ready? Let's see. Sorry,
All right.
let's go take this off.
Let's do it.
There's Oksana.
Oh,
All
all
right.
right. We're back. Okay.
Hold on, wait.
Still got it.
Okay, y'all ready?
Hey, I got Bruce Lee on my shit.
Well, I got Logan Long right here, so
Y'all ready?
okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Cheers.
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 Yay.
Cheers.
Woo. Salad. Salad be good. Salad be tossed.
Yes. All right. So let's move on to topic number 2.
I thought that was topic number 2.
Topic number 2
Yep.
is getting pregnant to save your relationship. What does
Oh,
that
shit.
mean?
That is a bad idea.
Why do you put me
Okay.
on there
So,
again in the
okay,
middle
let's get into
with
it.
no
Let's get into
glasses?
it. But watch this first.
Interested in a long-term relationship because he wanted to focus on his career. He said we could still see each other, but it would never be anything serious. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. What was worse was that there were lots of girls around him at work, and I knew they all wanted to steal him away from me. That's why I decided to baby trap Eric. He knew I was on the pill, so I stopped taking it without telling him, and a few weeks later, I was pregnant.
That was fun.
Hey, that's how you gonna do it though, Sophia? That's dope.
I'm gonna go have sex now.
Okay. So we're talking about
Baby trap.
and having a baby, thinking that your relationship is going to be better or is going to save the relationship. So Oksana already chimed in. She said, "Nope, worst idea ever."
All
And
right.
before y'all start this conversation, I want to go ahead and say, actually, no, I'll let you guys go ahead and chime in. What do you have to say? Does anybody have anything that they want to say
I
about?
got something.
What
I
did you
think
say?
Jay or Kawana does.
Yeah,
I'll
so
Go ahead.
let's see. Having a child is it save a relationship? Is that what it said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to say, and I really think that, if you're going to have a child to save the relationship, it's the same as staying in a relationship for the sake of the children. Now, they're both terrible. For one, the kids end up messed up, and then for two, you end up out of that same relationship with a kid. When people grow apart, okay? And there are certain acts of, uh, I don't even know how to say it right, desperate, something, okay? Uh, that hey, I'm not even going to point at women. I'm going to point at men and women. A man can be like, you know what? I'm gonna put this condom on, and while it's dark, cause they like the lights off, I'm gonna slide it off and give them a baby. That way they can't
But
see
that
me.
I get that. Sorry to cut you off, but this really is about a woman in the little cartoon fucking video. A woman stopping her birth control to stay with a man. So, I mean,
We're talking
say
about both ways. We're talking about
Yeah,
both ways. We just
I
showed
you
the
know
clip.
what? I saw that cartoon, man, and look, that's why I was like, man, that's how you gonna do it. That was a dope little clip there. Because you know what? Let's tone it down from pregnancy for just a second, if you guys will. I just want to say, if you've ever been in love and your partner is ready to go, after you go through the four crazy signs, which is, not paying attention to what's happening, negotiating, I don't even know what they are, but the point is, you don't want that person to go. So sometimes it can lead you to arguments, fighting, whatever. Some people will do that. Some people will just, men and women, but in the cases like Chris said, your video, a woman could just be like, I'm gonna do it. And what I say to that is that, 9 times out of 10, because sex is so weird here, and people don't have commitment. People give up every day. I think that a woman making that decision to have a child, to sit not out of wedlock, like, remember when that was a thing, a child out of wedlock, let alone having a child just to keep the man around. You know how many baby daddies aren't there? I don't think personally that would work with success.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You know. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if the relationship wasn't going to work without the kid, it's not going to work with the kid. It's not like people can't, it's like it's illegal to leave somebody who has a kid. It's, you can still do it. I mean, there are tons of people who have children that split up or get divorced. It's not going to stop that from happening by having a child. All you're doing is chaining yourself to another person pretty much for life. That's all you're doing.
So here, look, I'm going to say something in regards to me, and you can say if I'm selfish or not, right?
Does it got to do with your shirt?
Maybe. If I were a woman, right, and I was going to get impregnated from a man, I'm gonna want that man to be a fucking millionaire. Yeah, it sounds really fucked up even right now, but I'm not gonna get impregnated by a man if he's broke as shit. Like, does that?
It makes some sense. It makes some sense. And Sophia, here's what I want to ask you. Sophia, is with what Chris said. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a second. Okay, so with what Chris said, like, I'm gonna. Everybody wants to have someone that is successful, okay, and there's pros and cons that come with that. Shout out to my boy Dean, man. He always says pros and cons to everything. So yeah, you could end up, a woman could decide, I don't want this relationship to end because I'm emotionally attached, or I want to become financially attached. And a man could think the same way. Okay, we could try to knock her up for emotions, or we try to knock her up for finances, or the third, which, shit, uh people just don't give a fuck. They just knock girls up and have 17 kids and never make a payment in their life. Okay, so there's options out there for people to take. Now my question to Sophia would be, with all of that said, um where does it become not a male and female thing? Where does it become a human nature thing? Like, I know it's not, like, we're told we're not even told what human nature is. We're just governed and given a bunch of rules to abide by. But at what point does a man say, "Oh, you know what? Shit, I like working at McDonald's. I make sure I bring home a hot or a semi-cold meal every day. My baby out there slaying dragons, getting paid millions." And then the woman say, "Well, shit, he ain't shit, but he got them dollars though." And the opportunity. So why I don't like generalizing motherfuckers. I like everybody's capable. That's all I'm saying. I think.
So what's
God
your
damn this shot.
I don't know if I'm missing it, but what's your question?
I don't. That's why I just said, "God damn this shot." I think I had a question and then I said it all in the same sentence.
You said it partially.
Hold on.
You said it partially.
Am I wrong for if I'm gonna get into an 18-year relationship with someone. Like, if I was a female, right?
Is it a
That I
relationship?
would
Is it a
want.
transaction? Is it a lease? Is it a mortgage?
Well,
What
it
is it?
lasts for 18 years, so
The
yeah.
only thing that lasts that long is a home payment.
Well, I think you're 12 years off from that, but
Yeah, right.
at
Oh,
the same
shucks.
time, am I wrong to, I guess, want to be a gold digger at that point or something like that? That if I was a woman, I'm not saying that that's a great option, because but at the same time, is that wrong to think like that?
No.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
I
ladies
mean,
first.
so I think what I heard you say was, are you considered a gold digger at that point? Right? And so
And
I
yeah,
think
I
that,
think that I would be considered.
well, it depends, not necessarily,
Let
because
that question linger for a bit, bro.
we've heard of stories where the person wasn't so rich. Let's just say, like you said, hypothetically, you're a female. Well, I'm a female. And like we've heard of stories where the male wasn't rich, but just like Kawana mentioned, they're emotionally attached. They love this person. So instead of having the relationship breakup, then they say, oh, you know what? I'm going to get pregnant. And I know people, I've heard growing up of people who did this to people. Like, I'm getting pregnant. His ass ain't leaving. And guess what? Get pregnant, and then his ass left. So I don't think it's necessarily a gold digger, but however, I do believe there are situations, lots of them, especially in the celebrity world, specifically that we know about. People do go with people and just have children, because you ask me, and if I was dating a celebrity, and let's just say I was dating Jamie Foxx or somebody, I would try my best to get pregnant. Because you know what, that's not saying I'm a gold digger, but you know what, we're having sex, and guess what, the fruit of having sex is a baby. So I'm not gonna be too not saying I'm a gold digger, but that's the way
I
that
would
people.
get Janet pregnant.
So exactly, yeah. So
Hey, who you getting pregnant, Logan?
security.
Oh, well, you know what? Full disclosure on
Exactly.
this one.
Jason Statham does not count.
Oh yes, I'll be trying to have
Full
a baby.
disclosure on this one. Yeah, one of the people that I do date is actually very famous, but I'm not trying to be a gold digger. That's why I got a vasectomy.
Oh,
There's, it's
So
different for everybody.
hey,
yeah, like in my standpoint, I don't want to get anyone pregnant, like just to stay with them. No, I would want them to be with me because I would want them to be with me.
Okay, so
But yeah,
I'm glad that you said that. I want to read something that I researched. So, according to The Guardian, for around 30 years, researchers have studied how having children affects a marriage, and the results are conclusive. The relationship between spouses, or, whether you're not, well, let me just read it. Spouses suffers once kids come along. Comparing couples with and without children, researchers found that the rate of the decline in relationship satisfaction is nearly twice as steep for couples who have had children than for childless couples. In the event that a pregnancy is unplanned, the parents experience even greater negative impacts on their relationships. Parents often become more distant and businesslike with each other as they attend to the details of parenting. So I know people growing up that said, I'm getting pregnant because I don't want him to leave, or, I don't want the relationship to end. So
they got a rude awakening coming.
Me personally, I think that's the dumbest thing ever because if you need to go through all that traumatic drama and planning this and doing that just to stay with the person that doesn't really want to be with you, like, what the fuck? Yeah, just straight up WTF. But yeah, you know, kind of getting off topic just a little bit.
Ha ha ha! You said off topic.
Oh shit! Why'd you make me forget? Yeah. So basically, that being said, be with the person that you want to be with, in all realnessness. Oh yeah, here's what I wanted to say. I also do believe that having titles on a relationship is a relationship killer. Like, if you like the person, be with the person.
Oh, come on now. That's another. Yeah, I like that.
No, we're not gonna
Right,
even dive
okay.
into that one yet. Don't even dive
Yeah,
into it because I want to have that one on another day.
Okay, all right.
and,
Yeah,
hey,
we could definitely do that.
hey.
I have a lot to say about that.
Hey, we'll maybe, can we just touch a little bit on it? Because I want to say a comment to that too, and that can segue into something else. You know.
Okay.
Go ahead, Logan.
I see Sophia writing these topics down right now.
Hey,
You
man,
know what?
You don't play. That's why I tune in.
Guys, text them to me in the comments too if you have titles, so that I can always remember.
I look, okay, look, I know my mama won't agree with me, and a lot of my homegirls won't agree with me. And hell, I got some friends that are guys that won't agree with me. But I always think that monogamy is nature's little secret. And it only exposes itself when it's up against desire. And if we look back on all the relationships that didn't make it, it's always because somebody, male or female, went and looked at that butt, went and looked at that cock, went and looked at everything in between, maybe tried it, sampled it, tasted it, touch it, bring it, babe, watch me turn, y'all know that song. But, I know that my understanding this far, and I'm only like a quarter into my life, which it's a little more than that if you do the numbers, but like I said earlier, everybody is just ready to fucking break up. If you sneeze funny, if you fart weird, if your clothes hang funny on the outside line for drying, then everybody wants to go. So I know that my grandparents went through their fair share of relationship shit. That's what I'm gonna put, because I'm gonna wait till the next show. But they made it. They ended up making it 53 years. 53 years.
Amazing.
Hey, with a lot of shit in between, but 53 years don't come as easy. 40. Hey, look, in our generation, I want to see who's talking 20 years. Okay. That's what I'm saying. In our generation, is 25 to 35. Let's hear 10 years, and I know that we're gonna have some troubles bringing them shits up, because look at Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Like, I remember when that was cool, and that shit did not work. Remember Jennifer Lopez and Puff Daddy? That shit didn't work.
What about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt?
Come on now.
Right?
Hey, what about Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore?
We can go on and on with that, but I do want to read Oksana's comment. I think people who want to have a child to stay in a relationship are needy and selfish and don't think past that. Like, what about that child? I agree with that. I believe that there are some internal issues that are going on. So I want to go to what the American Psychological Association says. The American Okay, so they say that the marital connection actually nosedives after a couple welcomes the baby into the world. Pretty much the same thing that the Guardian says. So my next question is, uh, some people think that having a child forces the couple or the other
Sure.
person to mature. So they go ahead and say, "I'm gonna get pregnant because people grow up once they have a child." So, what do you guys think about that?
I've said this before. Look, Disney has fucked us up, men and women. As a man, you're taught you're gonna get a fucking princess if you stand up straight, open up doors, pay the tab. As a woman, you're taught you're a princess. You're gonna get a prince, and you're gonna kiss that fucking frog, and he's gonna turn into Vin Diesel. I'm using Vin Diesel uh as a whatever the fuck I'm using him for. But the point is that at the end of the day, you know, we're programmed wrong. They should be telling us that things are going
Outside.
to change in a relationship.
Out.
There are reasons that people don't stay together, and just because you fell in love doesn't mean you can't fall out of love. People grow, things change, we move on. And look, it's personally happened to me. I wanted to have 53 years, and the older I got, I realized there's no way to have 53 years unless I'm like motherfucking 90. But the point is that, yeah, man, us people of this generation are very lucky and blessed to have had grandparents that have shown us the years that we'll never get to experience. One, because of the times. Two, because of maturity between the woman and the man. Okay, you got girls that'll drop it like it's hot for for the
The
Instagram, and then
pop
you
star.
got guys that see you know J Lo, Whitney Kardashian. I'm just making up names. You see all that stuff, and you're like, "Ooh, I would risk it all for that." And once that happens, nobody's trying to stick it out through the hard times. Which I'm not saying gives anybody the excuse or anything like that to be operating that way, but that's just the way we've taken it in.
Okay, I
Okay,
want to
so
chime in on that because you said something about Disney, and guess what? This is a coincidence. I got Minnie Mouse and Mickey right here. When you said Disney, I'm not gonna say nothing negative about Disneyland. And I ran and got my little mouse hat thing because I love Disney, and Disney is awesome. It's great. And I love what it, represents and all of that. So go ahead, Logan, say what you're
And
gonna say.
no,
You know,
nobody knows that Minnie, she been messing with Pluto for years, and Mickey,
okay, in
him and
whose
Snow
world?
White, man, they got them seven dwarfs. That's the new little.
Whatever, whatever. So long, Logan, what you got to say? What you got to say?
oh man, made me forget. You cut me off because you showed your shirt, and I was like, "Is that what you named both your titties?" Mickey Mouse.
Minnie and Mickey.
Let's take a look.
Because once you showed it, and then you were like, "Oh, this and that," I thought of a joke and then totally forgot what I was gonna say. Just
So, do you have a sex addiction?
maybe.
Or a
Hey,
sex
he couldn't even see the mouse. He saw tits behind the mouse. I saw them too, by the way. I was just saying.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah. No, go ahead and say some more about what you're thinking, and I'm gonna think about what I was gonna say.
And I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back.
I just want to go. Nearly half of all births are with people that are unmarried. Can you say that the reason that the relationship that is the reason the relationship isn't successful? So, given that we know, according to studies, half of all births are with people that are unmarried. So, for the people that are married, can you say that having a child is the reason why relationships are not successful?
Go over that really fast one more time.
That's okay.
My
I'll read
friend's
it.
dog came in and I was just like, ah, how cute.
Aw. So,
Okay, I'm so sorry.
half,
I spaced
nearly
out.
half, nearly half of all births are with people that are unmarried. Can you say that the reason the relationship isn't successful for the people that have children that are married is because of the child?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not even
go
gonna
ahead.
act like I heard that whole statement, but I will say, because I'm gonna read it afterwards. But I will say
No,
this.
I don't think that everyone is happy uh, after going through all that. Like I said in the beginning, it's trauma. You know, not everyone ends up happy. Life isn't perfect. But go on and go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when you decide to have a child, it's not about that. Now I'm gonna be honest. It's not about that 2 minutes of pleasure. It's not about that 36 minutes of pleasure. It's about the next 18 years, as far as the government is concerned, and going further, it's about being a parent for the rest of their lives, which could entail everything that we've all experienced. People, you some people got to go back home. Some people ain't got no home to go to. So when you have a child out of, like, I want to call the topic, is a desperate point. There's already men that don't give a flipping fuck about being great fathers. Now, when you add that on top of a woman trying to trap a man, or a man trying to trap a woman, or the mothers not being great moms, yo, don't be surprised when that kid is on the news 17, 18 years later, because all that child saw was disarray, and who knows, God knows what they seen, but I do think that two responsible adults deciding to have a child has the greatest odds in the world. Even if they grow apart, you got to think there are so many couples that are no longer together, but they co-parent beautifully, and that's a thing nowadays. Just like, your kids go on play dates and shit. Kids go on play dates, parents co-parent. That, uh from my observation, if it's done right, without like hate for the other partner, and you don't want to see that person doing great, and you can't wait, or the other person can't wait for that person to slip up and fall. Like, if y'all decide, hey, fuck me and you, fuck you, but fuck me and you, but let's focus on our little seed right here, it can be a beautiful thing, you know. I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, and I always like to say my gay uncle, because you know what? Between them, I got so much experience growing up in life. And I didn't know. I didn't have a dad until, I didn't know, which was, I mean, I knew, but it wasn't a thing to me, because the love that family brings is and will always be the structure that we, as kids that have now grown, choose to carry on, and certain traditions and whatever it may be. That's what we do. That you are you'll see who you are in about, let's see, yeah, you'll see who you are in about 7 years. You'll know if you were raised right or if you weren't.
Yeah, so I mean, my parents split up when I was 14, and I know this isn't really the topic, I guess, but at 14, my parents split up. Uh, Great parents, all around. Uh, Rest in peace, my father, December 7th, 2020. Um, and he was a limousine driver. He always drove me to school in a limo all the time. It was great. I had a beautiful childhood just from that. All the kids wanted to hang out with me too. It was really awesome. They thought I was rich, but no, it's just middle class. My mom, being the wonderful nurse that she's always been, um, retired now, 48 years at the same hospital, ICU unit. Um, yeah, my parents brought me up really, really well. But look what I do now. You
Mm.
know,
And I personally don't think that that is a representation of the parents you had, nor the
no,
parents that
no,
I
no,
didn't
not at
have or
all.
did have or anybody viewing. I love it. Logan, I love it, man. That's my honest opinion. Uh, do Can I see myself doing it? Probably not. Do I wish I could? Yeah. Who wouldn't want to sell cars and make a lot of money?
Right. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Definitely my parents did not push me to do whatever I was a carpenter for 8 years, man. And then, I unfortunate things. I hurt my back, and I was like, well, I can't lift heavy stuff anymore. So one of you are just dying. Uh, that's so funny. But yeah, again, look at where my own mind took me, because I'm a go getter. My parents taught me that. Go get it if you want it. So I did. I mean, that's what I wanted. Going back to the topic that we first had, sexual desire, sex addiction. It's, I mean, I lost my virginity at 12 years old. Um, so, yeah,
Me too.
I did something that my parents would want me to do, respectable job, and then I ended up doing what I wanted to do. So,
Oh, like if
and
y'all,
all of it has been
hey,
a happy life. So,
fuck
yeah.
you, fuck me.
What? What did you say? I can't hear either one
That
of
was
you.
some other voice.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, yeah. Unless Sophia is she can do. I was gonna say telekinesis. That ain't the right word. She can be a ventriloquist with a deep voice.
Uh, but yeah, no, I was just touching topic on, our parents mold us into, human beings that can make our own choices.
Yeah, and hey, guess what? We're not on the street, so I just want to take this opportunity based off of the topic. I'm gonna spin the topic a little bit, but I just want to say, you know what? If you had parents, whether you had a parent or parents, and you're here today and you're not strung out and you're making your payments and you're living, well, I want to say thank those parents, and we should be grateful for that. But what I'm looking at in this future, I don't know what the fuck happened. I might have to get up out the U.S., man, because think people they weird now. They ain't playing nowadays, kid. These kids are something else, and I'm not talking about 10 and 11. I'm talking about 17 to 27, the ones that are going to start making decisions here in the near future.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
So,
All right.
Sophia.
Well, what I have to say is about the subject at hand, which is getting pregnant to save your marriage. I
Mm-hmm.
don't agree with that. I really don't agree with having a baby just to keep the
Unless it's
relationship.
Janet Jackson.
And even then, it's not going to save your relationship. It's
I heard,
not.
her. When I saw her and Jermaine Dupri didn't make it, I said, "Now I can see what's wrong with him, but what's wrong with her? And maybe and this is a very what do you call it? Oh man, it's a bad word I'm trying to say for myself. It's shallow. It's very shallow to see it that way, but I think it comes down to programming. And Sophia, I'm very sorry for interrupting what you were saying, but I really do think that that topic about having a child to keep maintain a relationship is terrible. Whether there's financial gain, whether there is romance and love, like Oksana said, there's a child at the end of the yellow brick road, and when the two adults stop fucking having a pissing match between each other, it's time to learn math and English and clothing and bullying and everything that you experience as being a parent and um so I agree, and I'm gonna just stop there. I'm having so much fun. We doing
Yeah,
Thursday too, or is it next week?
I do agree with that, because when you do have that child, you have to think about another being entering the relationship. So that means time is even more divided. You have to worry about maybe waking up in the night. So I have two girls, and fortunately, I'm blessed that none of them woke me up in the middle of the night. They slept through the night. So hi, Marquina. Yeah, so they slept through it, and I felt that having the children at that, well, the children that I have was great, a great experience as far as the um the infancy to the toddler, and all of that. But even though I was still single at the time, I just felt like I was blessed to have the children that I did have, because I didn't have that. What is the thing that you call it when the children cries all the colic? What is it called when they cry all the time constantly? It start with a
White
CH, I think.
baby,
No, colic, something. It's called
melon,
something.
what?
No,
Cauliflower,
no.
Collie Park.
Somebody help us. Somebody help us, please. We need it. Oh,
I
so
forget.
whatever it is when the children cry all the time, because I have a brother where his children, every time they cried all night, all day.
Oh, you
It just,
mean nervousness?
huh? Oh yeah,
Nervousness?
yeah. It's everybody business now. Them
Oh,
children cry.
needy,
Those
cry
children cry
baby.
so much. They cry so much. Everybody knew about it. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, I didn't have that opportunity to have children that cried all the time. But I can say that your attention is focused on the children. So if you're in a relationship, then yes, now the attention that you have for your partner, your significant other, is now lessened because you have something else to take care of. And then not all the time do they want to say, oh, get up, can you feed the baby? Can you warm up a bottle? Can you get the baby out of the crib? Whatever it is. So it's a lot of stress and all of that. So children do not save relationships. I think it has to be, like Kawana mentioned, a mutual agreement, and even then, when it's mutual. Oh, so let me tell you this story before I go to Marquina's comment. It was a lady who had been with her significant other, her boyfriend, for 7 years. They were content. They were happy. They were still in love. Like, you know how some people say that the relationship dies. They actually survived that point where they were just together and they really loved each other. They enjoyed each other's company, in each other's company. They were best friends, but she ended up getting pregnant. She didn't know that she was pregnant. She found out, and it tore their relationship up, because now they got a crying baby in the middle of the night. Nobody want to really get up and wake up out of their sleep. The tension, the tension is less now. As soon as you're getting pregnant, your hormones are still there. I mean, as soon as you finish having a baby, your hormones are still there. The woman wants to have sex, but then after the 8 weeks is up, she like, fuck it. You know what? All of that went out the window. She don't want to have sex because she's dealing with the baby. You know, so it's a lot of things that, oh, she said it. I'm going to come back to it. Call it. Yes. Thank you, Marquita. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you. I appreciate you.
What
Yes.
is that? I said Colic Park. I don't know if that's the same, Marquini. You can help me out. I got that from a rap song. I don't know.
Yes. But anyway, thank you. So yes. It's not a secret, it's a seat. So anyway, let's go to the. I just want to share this story with you because successful relationships can be
I think you need to mute Logan. It sounds like a dragon being
torn
born over there.
it can be torn apart, you know, with children involved. And so let's go to Marquina's comment. I think having a child can actually end a relationship. Certainly should never be done. Yes. And so I believe she said this comment in response to what we were talking about,
Yeah,
which we were
definitely.
talking about a lot of stuff. So anyway, yes, a relationship can be torn apart with a child, even though the relationship prior was successful. So any last comments before we wrap up this show?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to say, like, to what I was saying earlier, there is a different breed of humans out here, and for those that want to take offense to that comment, you got to look at your parents, man, and really respect that they've gone through so much shit. Like, I look at my mom. My mom say shit to me sometime, and I just look at her, and she'll be talking to me, but I just get deep in the gaze, like, girl, you made it. You made it to old motherhood. Your son didn't get shot, stabbed, robbed, pulled over in a gang, boo boo, bop bop bop. Then I'm watching on World Star, it's kids slapping the fuck out their parents in their face. And all I can say is that, man, I know that hey, I was a good one, but I wasn't the best. And I know there's plenty of people that fall in that category, above and below that category. And we'll see. We'll see. What happens in the near future. But nowadays, the way things are going, hell no, man. Kim and Kanye getting divorced. You hearing about everybody's breaking up. People don't stay together. Kids are involved. Kids are now just like literally an insurance policy for those that are living a different life other than ours. But then when it comes down to a basic level, and I say basic meaning as far as society is concerned, you know, you go back to child support payments, you go back to time spent, you go back to play dates, you go back to it's your week, not my week. I want to go out and have some fun with the guys or the girls or whatever it may be. It's slowly uh, falling apart, and I happen to know that the people I know, we are the last of the dying breed, which our parents probably said that, but we heard it from them. And I can guarantee you right now, I'll turn on some of my mama music. The kids going forward, they ain't turning on our music. They look at Tupac. They don't even respect Tupac, boy. They don't respect Tupac. Let me say it again. They don't care about Tupac or Biggie. You know what they care about? I'm gonna just leave it at that because I think we all know. And I'm
So
not
here,
disrespecting that younger class because the availability for these youngsters to get their money nowadays is commended. There's a lot of opportunities, and I respect it, but at the same time, game recognize game, and you gotta have respect. Anytime I meet somebody that's older than me, it's always yes, sir. How you doing, brother? It's always you just show respect. Some of these people out here today that are parents, fathers and mothers, will walk up on you and be like, "Fuck is you talking about? Who wop bangity bang do wop skiddly do?" And you know what? Soon as they start talking that shit to me, you done lost me. And
so
yeah,
my friend just came over with her dog, and my dogs they're going around crazy, making a bunch of noise. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna kick them out, and I'm gonna try and impregnate someone right now, my friend. It's not gonna happen because got a vasectomy, but I'm gonna have to peace out.
Okay, well, have fun. We're wrapping it up anyway. So thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. Please do share with others if you know someone that would enjoy this show. Thank you, Logan, for tuning in, and have a good night. Enjoy your what is it? Impregnation?
Endeavors.
False impregnation. Yes.
Thank you
And
so
I want to
much
give a
for
shout
having
out to
me again.
Miracle Grow. If you put it in the ground, it will grow.
Okay. All right.
guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Next week, guys.
So yeah, so I think all the viewers or the people that were on live, and even the viewers, were saying basically pregnancy to save your marriage relationship is not what it does, not what it do. So chime in on this conversation. Put your comments in. I still go back and review comments even if you watched it after it was live. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. And also, don't forget that I am on YouTube.com/Sophia Alexandra. So please do like and subscribe so that you can be notified anytime that I release content. And so there it is. You see it right now on youtube.com/Sophia Alexandria. And then also, if you want to purchase any of my gear, you can go to shop.spreadshirt.com/Sophia Alexandria. You can shop my merchandise there. Please purchase and support your girl here. Off limits, all of that. And guess what? I will see you next week. Hey! Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Tonight was another amazing episode. 2 juicy topics. Y'all not gonna want to miss next week's topic. So please tune in next week. And guess what? I will see y'all later. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Where you at? 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 Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Y'all ready? Stay tuned for next week and I'll see you there. Hey, like, comment, share. Hey, share, like, comment. Hey. Next time I'm gonna sing some opera for y'all. I'm gonna do that opera thing. Y'all gonna be shocked. Hey, and I'm out, y'all.